right, welcome to today's Tuesday edition of the Locker Room on Voice of the People TV. I am Jerry High, your go-to host for everything football, and today we've got a special celebration on our hands. Ademola Lookman has been crowned African Footballer of the Year, and of course, we'll be breaking down his stunning performance and what this win means for African football. And joining me today, James and Maiwa, we're ready to discuss the impact of this big one and what's next for Lookman's career. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so that you never get to miss an episode of The Locker Room. James, finally, it's been done and dusted. And thank those who have been telling CAF not to make any mistake. Definitely, their minds are all chilled now. And the fact that Ademola Lookman is the #1 footballer as far as the men is concerned in Africa.
I think because when you look at what happened in the past football year in Africa, and not just in the AFCON and also in the club side, I think it would have been a very bad one if CAF have done what we thought they wanted to do, give it to maybe Hakimi or somebody. And maybe a very big congratulations to Ademola Lookman. What he did in the football world last year was exceptional. Not just doing it for this club side, but also representing the same thing in the in the AFCON and doing it in his national team. So congratulations is well deserved to him, and we are happy that it came out. It came out the way we wanted it to go, and not going the Hakimi way. And yesterday we were still hearing reports that some of the fans, when they announced that it was Lookman that won, they were even calling I don't know if it's Lookman they were calling or the organizers thieves. That why is it not Lookman and why is it Lookman and why is it not Hakimi? And I'm surprised that some people are still thinking it should be Hakimi. I don't understand. With what Lookman did in the world of football, yes, last season, not just in his country side, but also in the club side, scoring a hat-trick in the finals of the Europa Cup, Europa League. I think that's a very big one compared to whatever Hakimi has achieved last year. Funny how the Morocco national team didn't do well in the AFCON, and also I think Hakimi was only able to secure the League One title last season. And let's not forget that Ademola Lookman was also in the finals of the Coppa Italia. So these are competitions you have, and also the finals of the AFCON. So I don't understand why some people are still worried about or concerned, are surprised that it's not an Ademola Lookman. But congratulations to him. I'm sure no matter it is, people, the eyebrows, and when it does not come to your people, but your personal, but it's obvious it's an Ademola Lookman, and congratulations to him.
All right, congratulations to him. Maiwa is with us on this auspicious day to celebrate the king of African football himself, talking about Ademola Lookman.
I said it yesterday. There was no reason to panic. I knew the controversy was just to get people more interested in watching the show, and a whole lot of people tuned in. According to reports, over 3-4 million people tuned in to watch that particular award. I think it was because of the controversy. It's a good one. And after the award, yes, James, you are very right. A lot of people were complaining that why did Ashraf Hakimi not win and just of that. Well, if you are successful and nobody has, do it 2 times, but not consecutively, I hope Ademola Lookman will probably be the one to do it because, it's a scintillating form and I hope he can keep up the good work. Kudos to Ademola Lookman and congratulations to him.
All right, congratulations to Ademola Lookman. And of course, if our producers can give us maybe a tidbit of his appreciation speech taking that award, then we'll start off by talking about the congratulatory messages he's been getting from his fellow Super Eagles stars after he became crowned the king of African football. We'll take a listen from Ademola Lookman. We're still here on Locker Room on Voice of the People TV. Out from Ademola Lookman, who was born in England and virtually never stayed in Nigeria. He only comes to play games here, and it's a good one. And he would have thought in his mind that he made the best decision of his life to switch allegiance from playing for England to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And of course, it looks like everything has turned around since he made that big decision. And of course, Moki Boboin means that he's greeting every one of us in Nigeria. And of course, Definitely from the African King.
I'm actually very happy for Ademola Lookman, and we said it after the finals, at the Europa League finals, where he's bagged an hat-trick. Even in the AFCON, we already hailing him that what he's doing in his career has been exceptional. Let's not forget that he started at Everton, and now it was not going well. He made a move to Fulham, and after he tried the Panelka that didn't work out, how his story went out from Leipzig. And shout outs to Gasparini and how he has turned him. No matter it is, Gasparini has a role in his life, and how he has turned out, how he has been playing in the last 2 years. And it has been incredible coming out to score goals both for the national team and being very important for his club side. I think that's one very big inspiration for not just him, but also other Nigerians out there and other people in different sports. Funny how he has been able to do that in the space of 4 years, and 4 years now he's the best player in Africa, and it's looking like he might be aiming for it next year again. But I know the likes of Salah have woken up and they are in contention for it. But credit to Ademola Lookman, and I think one prime example. One thing I'm happy about this achievement is that it serves as an example for other Nigerians who chose not to play for Nigeria. Let's not forget the same period he chose his allegiance to play for in Super Eagles was the same period you're inviting the likes of Tammy Abraham. And Tammy Abraham said he wants to play for the English side. What is the story now? Tammy Abraham has not, I'm sure he has not even gotten more than 3 call-ups for the national team for England. But now look at opener for other in-it boys, as they claim that, okay, that there's more opportunity for it when you serve your fatherland and going out to become a second choice player for other players in other countries.
All right, Mario, I definitely, you must have enjoyed that beautiful video of Ademola Lookman's acceptance speech of the CAF Player of the Year, and he spoke in his own dialect, talking about in Nigerian Yoruba language there, and it was really beautiful to see him speak, accept the language, and of course, show appreciation to lots of Nigerians out there.
Well, definitely. I think it needs a bit of lesson in Yoruba. He didn't pronounce the words very well, but I mean, it's understandable. But it's good that he remembers his roots, and he's acknowledging the fact, and it's a good one that we are seeing him do that. I think it's a good one that he has overcome adversity. I've constantly said on this show that Ademola Lookman, is a success story that anybody that is struggling, whether even outside football now, whether in your personal life, in your career, and the rest of that, anybody can tap from the inspiration. And it's good that he mentioned it. 4 years ago, nobody was talking about Ademola Lookman, and look at him right now. In as much as I still hold a little grudge with him because he knew his chances were not bright in England, that's why he made the switch to Nigeria. If he had gotten the chances he wanted, he would never think of Nigeria. But it's a good one that he made the switch, and 4 years after, he's doing amazing for himself. And with what Atlanta is doing right now, he might even end up winning the African Footballer of the Year next year if he's able to continue in this kind of performance. It shows that if you put in the hard work, you might go through a rough patch, but if you are consistent and you continue to work hard with a little bit of luck because of your hard work, I mean, you will succeed. Ademola Lookman is a good story, and I hope, like James rightly said, a whole lot of other people that are struggling, a whole lot of players that feel they have been forgotten, I hope they can take inspiration from him and probably turn their own careers around, just like Ademola Lookman has done. He has done so well, and I'm just so really happy for him.
All right, and of course, the accolades have started pouring in from left, right, and center. Super Eagles stars have joined in celebrating their fellow teammate Ademola Lookman after he was crowned as the 2024 CAF Player of the Year. And of course, the names, even the captain of the side that are talking about, William Troost Ekong, has gone ahead to tweet congratulations to him. The likes of Victor Boniface, who is also showing his pride in the young man. There's also Stanley Wabali, Ola Aino. The list is endless. Even Taiwa Woni, all sharing their congratulations to their fellow footballer. And of course, it shows that they're all excited about him winning it, and the fact that this is the first time we have a Nigerian winning it back-to-back as far as the CAF Player of the Year. And of course, this happens to be the seventh or sixth African Footballer of the Year. We're coming to a Nigerian footballer. What a time to be a Nigerian footballer.
We went from not winning the for 24 years to winning it back to back, and looking like we might win it again in the, in the third year. But let's still enjoy this one for now. It's still too fresh. It shows how the boys are doing, how they are improving day by day. And when I've said it before, when you look at this particular talent we have in the Super Eagles, it would be a shame for not just the NFF but every football lover in Nigeria that this team cannot achieve a tangible silverware in anything, even if it's the AFCON, even if it's get to one position they have not gotten in the World Cup also. Because it's sad that look at the players, look at what they are doing in their club side, look at what they are doing for the national team, and we cannot be in the world stages. So congratulations to Ademola, Lookman, and I'm sure this serves as an inspiration to others, other players who are yet to pick where they are going to be representing. If it's going to be in their back to their roots, not even Nigeria, back to their African roots, because it's not just Nigeria. If you look at the French national team, most of the players they are originally from one of the African teams in the world. So I think since Lookman can do this, I'm sure most players will say like, oh, yes, there's something here in Africa that is going right, and we should come back and play for our national teams. Looking at it, I'm sure players like Tammy Abraham, Fikayo Tomori, I'm sure those ones will be biting their hands currently because it's almost impossible for them to break into the English national team, and they have already represented them. So it's already too late. So I just hope the younger talents coming up sees this as an inspiration and try to represent our national team. And also, our FAs, not just the NFF, every FA in Africa needs to put their house in order. Because if our FA was in order, I'm sure players like Saka also will be playing for our national team. If our FA was in order,
imagine Bukayo Saka.
Imagine having a Bukayo Saka in this national team.
Right. On the left,
Osimhen in the middle. So if our national teams put their house in order, you don't need to go and be inviting them to come and play. Once they are good enough, they themselves will come and say, okay, I want to play for the national team in the Super Eagles. So these are things that we FA have to look inward and try to put our house in order. Well, congratulations to Lookman, and I hope you just continue to go from higher and higher from this point on.
All right, and of course, Mayowa, the players are already sharing their congratulations towards Ademola Lookman. And it's a good one. It's back-to-back. Victor Osimhen handing over to Ademola Lookman there.
I think it's a good one. Nigeria have never won it back-to-back before. And, it's a good one that this is happening. It deserves all the accolades he's getting. It deserves all the congratulations. What he has been able to do for himself personally is an indication. And the likes of Tammy Abraham, Fikayo Tomori, Emenalo, Riswabara, a whole lot of them, Eberechieze, Michael Olise, a whole lot of them that decided to turn away from Nigeria and decided to, decided not to look away the way of Nigeria. Well, probably maybe they will be biting their fingers now because they're not even the major stars in their team. Also, like James also rightly said, I think in as much as sometimes whatever we are going through, I always pick the Nigerian passport over any other country because this is my country. I choose this. I will always choose this country first over another country. However, airfares across Africa, they need to do better. A whole lot of other countries in Europe, we have African players fielding for them, which is not supposed to be so. And it's because of the systematic corruption we have. It's because of things not being put in place properly, and that's the reason why a lot of people are opting out, to go to a well-developed country and probably pitch their tent here. A typical example is our AFA. We have African Footballer of the Year back-to-back, and our AFA up to now, after a year, they still don't have a coach. We are not even sure if we are going to the World Cup. Imagine 2 African Player of the Year back-to-back will not be featuring in the World Cup because of the incompetencies of the FA. I think for us to be able to reap, the benefit of these developed players, the FAs across Africa, they need to do better. In as much as everybody's congratulating Ademola Lookman right now, I think it's also a call, call to action for the FAs across Africa to do better so that we can have all this talent play for Africa.
All right, and of course, it would be a shame to have back-to-back CAF Player of the Year not appearing at the World Cup representing their country and Africa, as the case is. There were also other winners. We're talking about Chiamaka and Nandose losing the CAF Women Player of the Year to Zambia's striker, talking about Barbara Banda. And there was also South African goalkeeper Rowan Williams, who also picked the goalkeeper of the year and the Interclub Player of the Year. There were a lot of awards. I would have said that it looked like there was already a plan to share it between the two countries that had interest. We saw Morocco picking some interesting awards, and South Africa was just everywhere. Maybe, I don't know, in the influence of the CAF president, but we will not look at all of that. But we must be critical, because whether you like it or not, I think the Young Player of the Year, for me, I had interest in that one, and seeing the South African picking the Young Player of the Year. A Moroccan, I beg your pardon, talking about Doha El Madani. She plays for Asfa, and she picked the Young Player of the Year. I don't know much about her, but it is what it is. There was also a Masfe picking up the Coach of the Year, and of course, we also saw Chiamaka. She picked the Goalkeeper of the Year, which is back-to-back. She won the last edition, and she has stayed there. But unfortunately, she was not in the CAF 11. A goalkeeper who has picked the CAF Goalkeeper of the Year for women back-to-back is not in the CAF 11. But it was Mamelodi Sundowns goalkeeper who plays for the club side owned by the CAF president, was picked as the goalkeeper in the women 11. And of course, that goal by Sebastian Haller in the final was picked as the best goal of the tournament. Of course, you want to say that goal can beat any goalkeeper on his day.
The whole drama of this CAF is very funny. Not just Chiamaka also. When you look at the goalkeeper of the best 11 for the male also, you are seeing Andre Onana as a goalkeeper.
Yeah. I think it was,
and Rowan Williams.
It was based on how big your club was. It was not based on how good the good player was. Not yes. If you take a look at all
Onana that considered
Amrabat, who has been struggling, who could not even hold his own at United, had to be shit.
Onana, I don't have a problem with this one. Maybe Amrabat won silverware at Manchester United. He won FA Cup. Onana considered 91 goals. Onana considered 90-something goals. I'm sorry, 80-something goals last season.
Yeah.
In the AFCON he came. Thank you. He didn't kick. He was not in goal for the first game. The two games he was in goal.
He considered at least 3 goals.
He considered goals.
Yeah.
And Rowan Williams, who was in the AFCON, kept, I think, the highest clean sheet or the second highest clean sheet. I don't know who had more between him and Nwabali.
Yeah. I think Nwabali considered only 2 goals.
Penalty shootout, he cut about 2 or 3. And he does not deserve to be in the best goalkeeper 11. He does not deserve that spot. That means CAF, I don't know, maybe they just gave him the goalkeeper of the year. And so, yeah, Onana, my guy.
To make sure that South African players got a lot of accolades, whether they liked it or not. Look at Rowan Williams picking the Interclub Player of the Year and also picking the goalkeeper of the year for the men category. There was also a situation where it was looking, is either the ones that were left over, either Morocco or South Africa were the ones picking most of the awards that were available. It is what it is, Maiwa.
Honest with you, the award itself says it. Best goalkeeper, Rowan Williams. CAF 11 of the year, Onana, who considered 91 goals. It does not make any sense. Now those days, you decided to give him best goalkeeper, but not the best player when he has been, the one of the African players doing very well in Europe. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like we rightly said, when the best goalkeeper thing came up and Nwabali was missing, and we saw a particular Andre Onana, we all said it here that Rowan Williams will probably get it, because I mean that's the only reason why a Rowan Williams, and Andre Onana is there. Nobody in their right senses. I don't know who voted for that CAF 11. I don't know how they came up with that, but it doesn't make any logical sense for me, because I mean somebody that considered 91 goals is the best African can produce. It does not make any sense. And this goes back again to the awards. Even the award itself, a whole lot of things are even wrong with the award. And I will say it, the particular host of that award, the lady that was hosting that award, for heaven's sakes, it's not from Africa. It's from Germany. And you are bringing Ketabdo to host CAF award. Are there no competent, female hosts in Africa that can host the award? That you have to import somebody from from UK to come and host the award. I mean, there's a lot of things that doesn't make sense to me in the awards, and I hope the organizers can go back and probably look at these things and fix it. There are a lot of things that doesn't speak well. Criteria needs to be released for us to know exactly what is being used to pick players, what is being used to shortlist players. It does not make any sense to me when players who are not doing so well in their club are making first 11 in Africa. It doesn't speak so well, and I hope they can do better next year, to be honest with you.
Yesterday, when the show started, the whole event started, and I tuned in. I didn't even know who was supposed to be the host, and I was hearing the voice. I was doing something. I was hearing the voice. I was like, this voice sounds familiar. Who is this person they went to use? And I looked at my screen and I was seeing Kate Scott. Now she's married. I'm like, what's going on? So I even had to I was confused that is she African? Is she from Morocco or maybe one of the Saudi? I had to go and she's not even in an African. So the whole 54 countries in Africa cannot produce one female host that will come and organize, that will come and chair an event. And funny how people complained about energy after the show that I was going through the reviews on X and I was like, people were complaining that energy was not like what she used to present on our show where obviously we don't call their names. And I'm like,
I think they wanted to use her to draw the attention.
Attention of who?
Attention of the world, because she's very, very popular when it comes to talking football. I think
is she more popular than all these people that were in the building? We had people like Samuel Eto'o in the building. Is he more?
As far as a female,
we have people like Ademola, Lookman also.
The biggest face right now among the hosts.
Now let's put it out there. If sorry, Mike, I'll come to you. If it's a FIFA award some ceremony, do you think they will invite any African to chair the event?
Definitely, they will not invite an African that is not.
So why are we
bigger than Kate Abdo right now? Name one host. When it comes
the thing is, if
I think we need to use that to draw the
thing is, we need to learn how to promote our own. It's not just about the whole Kate Scott issue. Yeah. It does back to our NFF. Our NFF are busy going to look for a coach in
CAF this time.
It's the same thing. If CAF is doing it, what's stopping NFF? Is the CAF not the mother body? If CAF is doing it, what's stopping NFF from doing it? If NFF are going to Sweden to go and pick a coach that has never coached outside Sweden except for the league in Sweden to come and become the coach of Super Eagles, what's stopping us from picking somebody from the NPFL, a Nigerian that has been in Nigeria that understands it to become the NPFL, to become the coach of the Super Eagles?
I think that
no matter how we explain it, it's still wrong. No matter how we say it, it's wrong. Yes, Kate Abdo is good. I always wait for. I can't wait for Champions League to see how she and the boys in the studio go back and forth for their shows. But it's wrong to inviting somebody from Germany to come to Nigeria, to come to Morocco, to come and chair an African event. And funny, our energy was not even there. Maybe she got some reviews from backstage or whatever. But it's wrong. How do you not hope to promote what we have in Africa? 54 countries cannot produce one host. Is that what they are saying?
All right, Mario, definitely, that's definitely a lot of controversy that also went down as far as that one is concerned. I hope CAF will do better in the next edition for 2025.
James, James and Jay, the thing is this. See, I think she's the biggest face when it comes to Champions League. However, I remember there's a particular South African host that used to be on cable. I will not mention the brand name. They're not paying us for advert. The lady, her name is Julia Stewart. She's no longer in South Africa again. She's with the EPL production, and she hosts Match Day Live with the EPL production, talking to big stars and the rest of that. This same lady has honed her skills to be able to get there. She's a South African. She's there in England there. Why didn't they bring her to come and host that particular show? Why? I still do not get it. I mean, that lady has done so well for herself. If not, I mean, I was expecting to see her host that particular show. Yet you went to go and settle for a Kate Abdo that does not have any stake in whatever is being done in Africa. When we have somebody in Africa that is representing Africa well in the EPL as a host, I mean, it does not make any logical sense to me. I think CAF needs to do better. And even Musepe, who is a South African, I was thinking he will probably, I mean, he has been able to put a whole lot of South African in the award. I mean, why not bring a Julia Stewart, who everybody knows, who does so well in the EPL show? Why not bring her to host the particular show? Why bring a Kate Abdo? It does not make any sense to me, and Africa needs to do better, and that's just the honest truth.
All right, Africa needs to do better. All right, We'll continue to. I definitely want to say the awards. At least there was a bit of beauty and, of course, glitz and interesting matchups. And talking about the dancing and everything, the award was well organized, put on time, well put together, save for the controversies. I think the award was a beautiful one to see. Meanwhile, former Super Eagles head coach Joseph Pesero has heaped plaudits on Ademola Lookman. He has said that is well deserved, showing that the man still has interest in what's happening on the continent of Africa, most especially when it comes to Nigerian football. All right, let's talk about the controversies. We heard that Lookman was booed in Morocco after beating Hakimi to the award. Talking about the Moroccans tried to stir up a controversy on social media, but it looked like it didn't even go far. Nigerians shut it down immediately. You don't want to have Nigerians at your back. I think I even saw a post where someone notable has actually made a comment about that she loved the way Nigerians support their own on social media. Most especially, she monitored the way Nigerians were all about Ademola Lookman from the day CAF talked about these awards, that she loved the tempo which Nigerians followed up. Maybe if that tempo was not up, I don't know, maybe somehow they would have found a way to deny Ademola Lookman, but it is what it is. Imagine Okocha had the backing of Nigerians on social media ahead of the times he lost the award. It would have been a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, definitely, the way Nigerians were rooting for Lookman, this particular one, I think it was more, when it wasn't the fact that barely 48 hours before the show, we're now hearing Hakimi from one angle. Nigerians took it up upon themselves that almost it's not this time people are going to rob this boy, because he has done the work, and I love the fact that Nigerians are now more on social media. Social media is like our number one tool. Anything that is not going on well like this, we are quick to take up our phones and the names, and we are tagging already. Before you know, you are tagging CAF and you are tagging the rest. Looking at even when Ademola Lookman was announced, we saw some Moroccans. They were leaving the studio, they were leaving the hall, and Nigerians were videoing them and were like the whole booing sound. And looking at it, it just shows everybody wants their player, their person to win. But Hakimi, does he deserve to win this one? Definitely no, considering the fact that what Ademola Lookman has done. Let's just see if Hakimi can do better in the next year. And for Morocco to be booing Ademola Lookman, it's not the organizer now. Let them go and look at the stats. Let them use their church mind and open Hakimi's stats for the past 1 year in football and look at Ademola Lookman's own. Then when they compare, I think they will tell themselves the truth at the end of the day.
All right, so Mayo, what do you make of the reactions by Moroccans as far as Hakimi not winning it?
Well, I mean, they can be angry all they want. I mean, the stats are there and the performance are there. Ademola Lookman is above Achraf Hakimi. Achraf Hakimi should put in the work. I mean, I understand the fact that they are disappointed that Achraf Hakimi did not win. I mean, they put in a whole lot to rescue CAF, and probably they felt they needed to be rewarded. However, if it's based on being rewarded, Achraf Hakimi does not even justify why he's even in the top three. His performance did not even get into the top three. He was there as a compensation for them. So Achraf Hakimi should go and do more. For those booing and those making noise on social media, you don't want to have 70 million people fire back at you. I remember when this war was going on social media war was going on between Nigeria and SA, and they started ordering, all these app rights, and you know how that ended and just what. So I think the Moroccans probably have learned that and probably just shut it down because it's not going anywhere. Ademola Lookman deserves it. Anybody can be angry all they want. Ademola deserves it.
All right, anybody can be angry all they want. Ademola Lookman deserves the crown. Mayo, before we go to the next conversation, but do you believe that a coach would have won it in this era if he had the kind of support that Ademola Lookman is enjoying? And even Victor Osimhen at a point in time, we all know how it was last year too. There was a little bit of controversy that he might not be the one to win it.
Well, during those days there was no Twitter. Twitter came in 2007, and Kocha was already winding up. So I mean, definitely, if it was, and also there is no publicity around it. A whole lot of people, do not really follow up because, information was a bit restricted, and you have to have some kind of status for you to be able to catch a glimpse of all these things. Now, you can catch content almost everywhere, and all these things, are usual content that people go through. So definitely, the noise and the uproar would have been so much that CAF would probably think twice to play and keep with Nigerians. If it were this, if we were Okocha, if social media were to be available during that particular period, probably they will rob Okocha once. The second time they wouldn't have done that to him. They probably won the African Footballer of the Year, because it still makes no sense to me how important Okocha was, how successful he was. Yes, you might say he didn't win a whole lot of trophy, but how important he was in football, and how his contribution has also uplifted football, that he does not have one CAF award to his name. It does not make any logical sense to me.
All right, definitely. Okay, and let's talk about what's happening at Chelsea. They're doing well on the table in the race for the Premier League title, but there's a major controversy where Chelsea winger, talking about Mikhailo Mudryk, says he's in complete shock after testing positive for a banned substance. The club confirmed today that they had been contacted by the Football Association after an adverse finding in a routine urine test provided by the Ukrainian international. The forward, who has been provisionally suspended by the FA following the positive result, denies knowingly using a banned substance. And Chelsea said they will work to establish what caused the failed test. And under FA guidelines, players can be provisionally suspended from football following a positive drug test. It has happened before with a Chelsea player, talking about Adrian Mutu. If you remember him back in the day, he was tested for cocaine substances. And now it's happening with Chelsea's Mikhailo Mudryk. I don't know, Chelsea fans will have no too much worry about it, because definitely he has not added anything since he made the £89 million move. I think the Chelsea fans Arsenal fans have been the one who have celebrated it, but it is not good news for a footballer to be involved in positive drug tests.
Considering the fact that the amount of times this has happened in recent times, I've seen the case with Paul Pogba, who was just resolved a couple of months ago. And in the past, I've also seen with Andre Onana, and now Mikhailo Mudryk is now a victim. Looking at it, I think it came at the wrongest hour for Mikhailo, and I think he has been trying to discover his form in the Europa League. I think he has been getting game times compared to the past management. And Enzo has given him a couple of chances to prove himself in the Conference League, and now this is happening. I just hope it does not turn out true, because if he's found guilty, I think it's going to be 4 or 5 years suspension from football, and by then it will be about 28 or 29. And let's not forget, it's not like he's even in incredible form before the whole issue happened. It's a very sad one for him. I just hope the investigation works in his favor. I just hope they find the root of the issue, because according to what he said he does not even know how he got into the system. At least the likes of Andre Onana knows, and Pogba was a drug his wife prescribed, and Onana was like his cream or something, the hair cream he used that got into his blood vessel. But now Mudryk is saying he does not know how he got into his blood. Let's just hope if he discovers that fast, and investigations rule him not to be guilty, because it's not a good one for anybody.
All right, Mariwa Sports, talking about personnel understand the dangers of being involved in drugs, but sometimes some sport personnel get carried away and get involved, thinking that they might not be caught. So it's not every time we want to believe the story that they don't know, or so on and so forth. As a sport personnel, you have to take good care of yourself. You have to be watchful in everything that comes into your system. And with the fact that his performance have not been good, who knows whether he was trying to up his performance. But the Arsenal fans have been in celebratory mood, but you should not celebrate on that man's downfall.
What is Arsenal celebrating about? Is it the one that they will go again?
Yeah, they say they dodged the bullet for dumping them alongside
what bullet they dodge? If we were to be part of them, would their position would have be different? No, the position will not be different. It still be same.
Yeah, that means
we're not talking about Arsenal. And I don't want to offend the Kechuku, so let me leave Arsenal.
He's on top of his voice at the moment. Yeah.
But in any case, I think as they always say, you have to be proven you are innocent until proven guilty. Yes, the test has come out, and sometimes these players they make mistake. The case of Onana, it was a mistake. He went to take something that belongs to his wife and just all that. However, sometimes because this test is so random, you might play throughout your career and you might not be called. It happens like that. A lot of these players want to hide under it, and because of his performance has been very poor, this happening now makes his case a bit difficult, and probably a lot of people might not believe him. Also, as players, they need to be very, very careful. They have a whole lot of entourage, they have a whole lot of people around them. Before you take anything, you need to ask questions so that you don't find yourself in this kind of position. To be honest with you, I have a bit of sympathy for him. He's been trying to get himself back into the team, and he has been making an inroad via the Conference League. Now this has happened now. He would have lost all the progress he would have made, in terms of getting back into the team. I just hope, probably they can establish and probably resolve this issue. It will be very disastrous for his career if this turns out to be true and kind of situation.
All right, very unfortunate. All right, let's take it down to another club side this time around, where Tottenham Hotspur's Rodrigo Bentancur will serve the final 2 matches of a 7-match ban after the Football Association dismissed his appeal. The Uruguay midfielder was given the ban in November for using a racial slur about a teammate Son Heung-min on television. Spurs accepted the judgment but appealed against the severity of the suspension. However, the appeal was dismissed following the hearing, and Bentancur will miss matches against Manchester United in the Carabao Cup and Liverpool in the Premier League. The former Juventus midfielder has been able to play in the Europa League during his ban, as it only applies to domestic competition. And of course, this was one word he thought he was saying innocently. Maybe I don't know this was it that they will not ban me for social media. But I think he actually innocently said, or he said what was frowned at by saying that all Asians mostly look the same. And of course, even Son Heung-min, who he even read reference to, has forgiven him and said, don't worry, everybody say this every time. But these are very, very critical issues, and they are frowned out, most especially in the act of trying to kick out racism in football, most especially in the Premier League.
When you consider the amount of viewership each game gains every weekend or each match day, you have to be careful, because children are also watching. Children who don't even have an idea of what you are going. It's an adult that will hear that and know that you are obviously joking. But when you come from the angle of a child, barely knows what he's saying, barely knows what it means. He takes that attitude from you as an idol or as somebody he looks up to, and he takes it to his peers. So I think it's the right one that the FA intervened and served as gave him the match ban, even though Son forgave him. But looking at his 7 matches, it's almost done. 2 matches and he's back on the field. Let's not forget that he has also been getting game time. He has been playing in the Europa League also. Yeah. And I think Ange Postecoglou will be one of the happiest man when he returns from injury, when he returns from the ban, because injury has been one thing that has not been showing him luck in his side, and he needs balance. The 2 matches is going to be missed again, Man U and Liverpool, 2 very crucial matches that will determine, one in the Carabao Cup and the other in the EPL. Let's see how Ange is going to manage without him. But I think it's a good example they set you uses. I think I want to see more of this in the La Liga. La Liga is one league that the amount of curse words the players use daily, especially when you watch Real Madrid, especially that Real Madrid side. Once it's not going their way, they are seeing players like Vinicius and also Bellingham, the way they are expressing themselves. Once the camera is on their face, you know what they are saying. You obviously know what they are saying. So, and I think more measures should be taken in the Spanish La Liga.
All right, Mayowa, maybe the players in Spain are getting away with it because this one, Bentancur actually said it in an interview. It was well documented. It was clear, sound. Yes. So it was really sad one for him. I think he has learned his lesson.
I mean, see, the thing is, I'm all for watching what you say, because a whole lot of people they are looking at these people as role models and just for that. However, I think over censorship does not, takes away from the game. To be honest with you, in as much as I would not want somebody to use a racial slur and rest of that. What he said is something that people usually say. In as much as it might not be 100% right, but I mean, it's just normal conversation. I don't think the over censorship takes away a whole lot, takes away the originality of the game. In as much as yes, you need to. I mean, if you had called him, there's a particular bad racial slur that people use. For example, a white person now, if you call them a white cat, that's racial, or you call a black person the N word, and just those are things you really find out. I think I watched the interview. I don't think there's any ill intent towards it. I understand the fact that people are watching. The kids might not be able to differentiate, but I think 7 match ban is too much, to be honest with you. But it's coming to the end of it, and probably he will learn. Maybe when they ask him any question in the interview, he will just turn deaf and dumb. And I'm not throwing shots at the people that cannot hear or talk. But I mean, just to save himself another 7 match ban. But I really do not agree with the over censorship. I think it's too much with the APL.
All right, and of course, we also understand that Wolves have signed a new manager in Vitor Pereira, who has agreed an 18-month deal to become the Premier League side manager. And the Premier League strugglers are paying around €1 million to bring the boss from Saudi Pro League club Al Shabab to the Midlands. So congratulations to them. And that's a whole lot of money to bring in the manager. I hope he wins something for them at the end of the season. We know that Brazil legend Ronaldo has announced he will run for the presidency of the country's football association and wants to recover the prestige of the national team. He's 48 years old, and the next, talking about the current term of the president of the Brazilian FA ends in 2026, but an election will have to be held next year. All right, that's how we wrap it up. Maiwa, it's been a pleasure having you on the locker room.
It's always amazing to be here, and I hope Ikechukwu will calm down. He should go and prepare for next season. Arsenal is not winning anything this season. Thank you for having me.
That was a soccer punch. James.
Well, thank you for having me. Let's hope R9 definitely wins the election and becomes the Brazil FA, because the Brazilian team is going down from what it used to be, and it all goes back to the FA. So let's hope somebody that knows what it is to be a Brazilian, to play represent the Brazilian nation, wins the election and takes them further.
All right, of course, that's a wrap for today's edition of the Locker Room on the Voice of the People TV. Big shout out to the guys behind the scene, talking about the likes of Shegun, Samuel, as well as Jeremiah, not leaving out Ikechukwu, who has been trying to respond. The silent voice there behind the scene, as against Maiwa, who said that they are not going to win anything this season. All right, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never get to miss out on the latest action. Until next time, keep the passion alive, stay football focused, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Locker Room. My name is Jerry. Peace.